In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast. So then I said jabroni.
You can't say that.
You can't?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's because 2024. There's like a laundry list of words you can't say. That's got to be on there.
Yeah, but
Jabroni's probably on there.
no. But some are coming back now.
That's true.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's new words you can't say, but some are okay again.
Like what?
I don't know. Guess.
Oh, I don't know.
You say one, and I'll tell you if it's okay or not.
Justin, get your button ready.
Seriously.
As soon as this conversation started, I got real nervous.
Redacted.
That's coming back.
Yeah,
Is that coming
You
back?
can say that.
20,
Oh.
No, in 25.
Oh.
No, that's next year's model.
Yeah,
that's next year's model.
Yeah.
Justin's like, I hate you.
For
so much.
Joe.
You're just going to let it ride.
I'm about to.
No, you're not.
I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Friends podcast, brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Specifically them. Remember that. Use that code FTFO to get you that sweet 15% off. Wellness.us. All those CBD treats and needs. Go over there. Use that code FreedomFriends25. Get your quarter off your order. Check out Icy Tech Coolers for those who get it. Go over there. Use FreedomFriends10. It's 10% off. And go to grillyourassoff.com/FreedomFriendspodcast for all that tasty stuff for your meats and such. I'm Mikey. That's Scott. That's John. We are Sands of Jazz tonight. It's probably too fucking cold. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like we are not equipped for this kind of weather down here.
I was outside yesterday working in the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little windy yesterday. That was probably the most
It's not-
uncomfortable part.
Like when it's cold is when you leave your nice warm house or place of business or whatever and you walk outside. That's cold as fuck. But then once you've been out there for like 15, 20 minutes, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, well, I was in Florida and it was, I was dealing with about 40s to 60s all weekend. So I was like, oh, this is cold. And then I get to Texas and I was like, what the hell, man?
No, that wasn't cold.
This is actually cold. What the shit?
I was about 85, 90s this week.
Yeah, right. You had a much nicer weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, we decided last minute, Michelle and I, to go to Costa Rica. So
Attaboy.
on Friday,
Like, how last minute we talking?
I planned this on Wednesday and we left on Friday
Fucking A.
because I had extra points and shit.
Well, Scott walks in my office. He goes, do you think it's a dumb idea to go to Costa Rica this weekend? And I was like, no.
You're asking him about traveling?
That's not a dumb idea at all. It's a long weekend. What else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it ended up being awesome.
I mean, fuck, I got roped into going to Honduras later in the year and I didn't even ask.
Now
I didn't either.
I don't know why you're. Oh yeah, Roatan.
Yeah.
That one's on Nick.
That is on there.
With Warfighter Scuba.
Yeah.
Because as far as I knew, you weren't supposed to be on that trip.
I didn't, because I didn't raise my hand for it.
As far as you knew, you weren't supposed to be on that trip.
But when he sent me the ticket, he spoke pretty loudly.
He did.
Yeah. So that was the trip, man.
It was good. The first night we landed pretty late, like, I don't know, it was dark already, so probably 7 or so. Went to we got just a little shitty room because we were going to go to the beach the next day. And got a rental car, got to the room, went on a walkabout, just we get some food, just check it out, whatever, right? And we find this little hole in the wall bar. And
The best.
we made friends.
Of course you did.
Yes. And we had a good time that night. And we were the only whites in there. And but we had a good time.
So Michelle was really popular.
Oh yeah, Michelle was very popular. Yeah. No, she definitely was. But yeah, we I'm ordering Florida Canya, and I'm right, and I guess I'm so white that she had to go get a translator that spoke English to come back. And I said, I want Florida Canya. And she looks at the lady and says, Florida Canya. And she's like, oh, okay. And pours me I'm like, I know that's how you say it. I must have this really bad accent or something. But
Florida Canya. Can I get that Florida Canya? She's like, you don't say.
And then I said, I want it with ice. And she's like, you just say on the rocks. And I said, I that's how I ordered it. I said, a Florida Canya on the rocks. That's exactly what so I looked at her and said, on the rocks. And she looks at the translator.
So
Translator says, on the rocks. And that's what I'm like, okay.
They had to be fucking with you.
Maybe.
Florida Canya,
Yeah.
cone, C-O-N, cone.
Okay.
Say it.
Cone.
Yellow. Like the color.
Yeah.
That's with ice.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I
know.
Con yellow. Yeah.
But, or it's, it's on the rocks. It's the same.
Ish.
Rokas.
Yeah.
Same thing. Rokas, right? It's the same thing. Rocks. Whatever.
I like the idea that Scott walks into this bar and the bartender's like, I'm about to guess like the fuck out of this gringo.
Yeah. But no, we ended up having a good time. Then the next day we went down to this one beach that had it's like their national park. And I guess we bought tickets, we got drunk, and then decided to sleep in instead of go to the park the next day. Yeah, we had fun. So I do want to tell a story though. We're just hanging out on the beach all day, but then it was time to go out. So we go to the room, change. Michelle's like, let's walk. And I'm like, okay, it's a mile and it's straight uphill because we wanted to go to this restaurant that had this airplane, right?
Oh, it's because you were thinking.
It was
Because once you got drunk, it was all downhill.
right.
Zing.
But the problem is I was hammered on the walk going to this place.
Yeah.
Then I get there and I'm sober.
And hungover.
No, I wasn't hungover.
Okay.
But then we get there, I have a meal, we have a couple drinks, whatever. We go to this other bar, right? And it's about halfway back down the hill to our hotel. We go in this bar and Michelle and I are like, holy fuck, we are old. Like we show up and like I'm wearing a red like button up. Michelle's got a red dress on and everybody else is in white. Like they were having a white themed party, right?
Oh, wow.
And so we were in red. Everybody else is in white. So we like stood out, right? And we're looking around and we're like, holy shit, I feel really old. Well, we get to talking to some of and it was like, I don't know, 40 girls and 6 dudes at this fucking party, right?
Solid ratio.
Right. Solid ratio. And we get to talking to one of them. They're all from Denmark.
Okay.
The one we were talking to, Michelle was talking to, was 18.
Yeah.
Her friend was 16. This whole bar was full of 16 to 19-year-old Denmark chicks. Who the fuck lets their 16-year-old daughter fuck off to another country?
People in Denmark.
Yeah.
I guess. But
Clearly the Danes.
But they were all hammered.
Yeah.
They were, I don't like drinking age, I guess is 18 there. But
It's like Mexico, as long as
Yeah.
you can see over the bar.
But we were standing at the bar. Right behind us is the bathroom. And there's a little disturbance. So we turn around and they're just like carrying this fucking drunk chick out of here, right? We're like, and then I kind of went into dad mode once I figured out they were all 16.
Yeah, because now you're like,
Now I'm looking around and I'm like, well, fuck, I got to kind of pay attention to what's happening here.
yeah.
Right?
No, you don't.
I don't. But
No,
I
you
did.
don't.
Yeah.
That's because you're a good dude.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
No, I know.
You could be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, then we're dancing, right? And Michelle like moves up into this crowd. I'm like, no, let's back the fuck out of this. I'm not dancing amongst these 16 children. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not dancing with
This ain't
children.
Epstein Island. It's
Yes.
fucking Costa Rica.
Like my look, some asshole's gonna post a picture and there's me dancing with these 16. No, fuck no, we're backing up. And she was just drunk enough where she didn't understand where I was coming from.
right.
So she was giving me a little pushback, no big deal. But then this black guy who was our age, 40s, right?
Yeah.
Started dancing with his old lady. And one of these little girls decides like, oh, I want to dance with the black guy, right?
Sure.
And he's like, he just fucking, nope. He walks the fuck out. And I'm like, see?
That's a smart
I'm like,
man.
see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I meant, right? So,
Yep.
but it was really weird. But it was a good time. And then the next night we went to, I guess what they call the party beach, Jocko Beach or whatever. And we had a good time there. Went bar hopping and had some good food. And
Fucking nice.
yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
And then the way back, it was I think our flight was at 2 originally.
You got the United experience.
I got the full United experience. Well, on the way there, one of my flights got canceled, so we got bumped up to an earlier flight.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. We got there 2 hours early.
That's a happy mistake.
yeah,
Sure.
a happy mistake, right? On the way back, so we're like 2 hours away.
Karma comes around.
We're 2 hours away from the airport, and it's like 84 kilometers.
Yeah.
2 hours, right? Because the speed limit's like fucking
12.
30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But it was a cool drive up through the hills and nice roads. Like I'll give Costa Rica that. It's way nicer than Panama or Nicaragua for sure, road wise. But
Infrastructure.
yeah,
They got it.
So we're about 10 minutes out from the airport. We just turned the rental car in, getting on the bus, and your flight was delayed. Well, fuck. I wish I would have known that. And then we get to the airport and you're like, your flight was delayed more. So it was delayed like 4 hours. And then we finally get on the flight, get back to Houston, and our connection flight was just canceled altogether. So then we had to get a rental car.
Or fucking wait until today, probably.
Yeah, which I wasn't going to do.
Yeah.
So I had to get a rental car, and then, we didn't get home till late. But it was fun. Good trip. So
Nice.
I got a sunburn, and then it's weird wearing winter apparel on a sunburn, but
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I will say, I am appreciative of us moving the podcast indoors on days like today.
Yeah.
It's not warm in the.
Well, I think Dave said it was 42 degrees back there this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like days like this and the really hot days. It's like, thank God.
Yeah.
I really liked our old setup with like the peanut gallery and everything. I really thought it was nice, but this is better.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
More conducive to a conversation, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could be sitting here shivering or sweat rolling off of us like we've done before.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really
we're not all bundled up in Carhartts on this episode.
Yeah. I feel very comfortable. I was telling these guys before the show, I had an interesting interaction at the airport in Jacksonville. My flight had gotten canceled because of all the snow and everything. I was supposed to fly through Nashville, and it turned out I wasn't going to go through Nashville because that one got canceled, and it bumped me to an earlier flight that went through Atlanta, which fucking sucks, but it did get me home about a half an hour early, which was fine. And being that yesterday was my birthday and Haley had shit planned, it was like, okay, I'll take that. That's a win, right? Yeah. So I get to the airport. It's like, I don't know, fucking 5 a.m. I get to the airport because the flight's at like 6:30, right? And I slept at the hotel I always get is like right at the airport. It's literally on airport grounds. It's it's between the airport and the cell phone lot is the hotel I stay in, right? So it's like right there. So if I fuck around, I'm right there anyways, right? So I get up, I fucking get the shuttle, go to the airport, and I'm walking towards like the doors to go check my bag, and this guy stops me and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, are you active duty?" And I was like, "No, happily retired. What's up?" And he's like, "Do you want a free Benchmade?" And I was like, "Sure. Benchmades are awesome." He goes, "Well," I was like, "Are you sure?" And he pulls out, you could tell this knife that he's had 4 years. Like, John, pull yours out. It looks like that, where it's like, it's a smaller model. It's a different model than what you have. But it's well loved, right? It's got,
let me pull that tape off of there. You don't need that.
It's got like, well love on it. And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, I forgot to check it." And I was like, "Bro, I've been there. No worries." And I was like, "We'll tell you what." I was like, "Just give me your address and I'll ship it to you." And he's like, "For real?" Like, he's surprised I even offered it. And I was like, "Yeah, man, are people that shitty that they don't do nice things anymore?"
Right now he's thinking, "Man, I'm never going to see that fucking knife again."
And I gave this weirdo my address, right? His name's Tony. Tony, you probably never see this. Relax. I got you. So we're going to, I was talking to Scott, and I think we're going to throw some cigars in a box for him and shit, and throw some stickers and just be like, "Hey, dude, I might even, matter of fact, I might reference this episode and be like, scroll to this number,
Right.
scroll to this time, and
Yeah,
be like,
take down the time.
yeah, stop fucking doubting people, bro. Not everybody's an asshole.
I mean, it takes a lot to give up a knife that you've had for a while.
Absolutely, dude. And I understood
And it doesn't matter.
You know what though? But he was fucking right. Fuck TSA.
Fucking
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and he was like, I don't want to give this to the TSA guys, and I'm like, yeah, I've had to do that before, and it fucking sucks. And if it would have been a Benchmade, I'd have told him go fuck yourself. Mine was like a fucking bullshit knife, so it was like, sure, bro, enjoy the SOG or whatever the fuck, right? Like it was fine, but like a Benchmade, that's a little bit different. So, and then he even offered, he was like, here, I'll give you money. I was like, no, dude. I was like, I'll just put it in my bag and we'll do it. And so it just so happened that I had just gotten my because by the time he sees this, he'll have gotten his knife and he'll know. I just got my Microtech back from getting maintenance done, which is also a well-loved knife that I enjoy. And it came in like this nice box. They basically packaged it just like it was a brand new knife. So I put all of his shit in the Microtech box. So he's gonna open it up and be like, "What the fuck? A Microtech?" It's like,
I always wanted one of these.
yeah, I bet you did. Too bad you got your Benchmade back. If I would have had time, I was actually, Chris Freeman's in that peanut gallery today. I was actually going to be like, hey, dude, can you sharpen this guy?
Sharpen it for him.
and like have it all nice and shit. And like, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, I'm going to shot too. Maybe I could just drop it off to the Benchmade guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing all this shit, man. Like, I don't want to fuck this guy's knife up, and I don't want to get it in the mail for him. So,
You should. So if you drop it off at Benchmade at SHOT Show, they do free engraving, like not on the spot. You have to send it with them. And they take it back. And they'll sharpen it, do the engraving, do all that. You should have did that and then put, if found, please return to, and then put his address.
Either that or like the Freedom Friends were here or something.
or something. Or just, can you guys engrave a dick on it? Something, you know. Just,
They can only do letters. We already asked.
No, they can do logos.
well, this logo is a dick.
Yep, you can send in your own artwork.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
Fucking I.
Yep.
That's awesome. But yeah, Tony, I'm gonna get your knife back to you, buddy. By the time you see this, I'm happy to do it, man, because we've all been there, and fuck the TSA.
It won't have a penis on it, but doesn't mean it has not been on a penis.
That's yeah. Like, I mean, you roll your dice. You might want to dip that thing that you're holding right now in hand sanitizer, friend.
Too late. It's already been a couple days.
Remind me to never hand you my knife if you ever ask to borrow it. Nope.
You know what's fucked up though? You guys we've all flown internationally, and like, you ever been like business class when you get like a meal and stuff? What do they give you?
A metal fork and a metal knife.
Yeah, but
For your first class, you're not going to rob the plane.
yeah, right.
No.
But I can't carry a fucking pocket knife, man.
I never thought about this.
But I could easily do the same damage.
every single meal.
Yeah, I could do the same damage with a fucking fork.
With the peasants in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get to
Oh
get.
no, I've been in the peasants
I'm
in the
gonna-
back, and they get knives and forks too.
No, they don't.
No.
Sure they do.
No.
I have.
No.
It's plastic shit.
I'm purposely going to get a business class seat that's all the way in the back, the aisle.
So you can just like trade.
No. And I'm going to be like, tell the stewardess that he's been eyeballing this knife this whole fucking time. I don't know if I should use it on him or give it to you.
I just find it fucking laughable that they give these out on airplanes, yet they won't let you have a fucking pocket knife.
Next time you're just gonna take your shoelaces out, and when the stewardess comes back over, you just hand her the knife and the shoelaces. Be like, my doctor said I can't have these.
I had some bad thoughts. Just because I'm first class doesn't mean I'm all the way here.
It's funny though, man. The whole thing is fucking silly. That's another thing. Speaking of business class, I'm looking at flights to France right now. Fuck me, man. So I found out a little bit about my jump in France that I'm doing, my jumps that I'm doing in France.
Yeah.
The one that I'm jump mastering, I'm actually free falling on. So I'm going to have my free fall rig. Now, because my red, white, and blue canopy looks like the French flag, I'm going to jump a flag into Normandy, into Saint Mary Glise, right?
The French flag?
I'm going to jump a Marine Corps flag. Be an asshole. But I was telling Bill Markham, shout out Bill, world's finest.
I was wondering if you had an all white canopy there for a second.
No, the other French fly.
Oh.
But he was like, you know, you're going to be on every fucking newspaper in France, right? If you do that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know that, but I'm gonna now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to free fall that one. And then the one that I'm just a jumper on, I'm going to just run a shoot, but run an SF10. But still,
Yeah.
you know, should be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Have y'all seen all the farmers in Paris that are
Fucking legends.
Love it.
yeah.
Absolute
Oh, with all the
man.
shit spraying on the government
Yeah.
building.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the farmers in France.
Yeah. It's about time you motherfuckers picked up a fucking fight. Yeah. It figures the farmers would be the ones to be like, nope, fuck this. You know?
It should be how it goes down here too.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think. I don't know. They keep fucking telling us that we can't vote for people in certain areas. We're going to see shit like that happen, man. Yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
Just dumping shit in front of government buildings. I love it. I don't speak French, so I don't know what the fuck that says, but oh, we are on the straw. Huh.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the region, farmers targeted large suburban supermarkets, dumping manure in their parking lots. The farmers say many big supermarket chains refuse to pay fair prices for the produce. Huh. Tuesday's protest followed a number of demonstrations in the region of last November as farmers fear for their livelihoods. Good for you, France. About time you fucking did something. We could all say that too.
I believe they were also spraying manure on like the governor's house in like his front yard.
It was like
and
his
everything.
fence, right? Like through his fence or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I couldn't find those pictures, but that was a total gangster move.
Is it
I saw a TikTok.
so like if, for example, I'm driving and I throw, say, a handful of leaves out of my window, it's not really littering, right? Because it's organic.
I wouldn't say that's littering. I would say it's the same as like a cigar. Like if you throw
That probably pushes the limit. But what I'm saying, shit's organic. Is it littering? Like, what are they going to get them for?
Littering and
smoking the reefer.
I mean, if anything, they were just getting free manure for the yard. So they were actually doing them
fertilizer.
a favor.
Yeah, fertilizer.
It's a valid question, Scott.
I mean,
Answer Scott's question down in the comments.
it's an
below.
organic. I don't know.
It's a good question. Yeah. It's a very, very good question.
I'm so curious as to what John's Googling right now because he looked over at me and then didn't ask me anything and then started Googling.
Yeah, he does
There
that.
you go.
Oh, you just sent him something.
Before I talk about this, I want to have the video queued on the screen because I saw this yesterday.
All right.
Oh, yes, I did too.
And this is awesome. And the awesome part about it is I don't know any backstory behind why this guy did what he did.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything on it. But what I love is when the cop showed up to stop this guy and he's in a Bobcat, a skid steer.
Yeah, and the chances are we probably know who this cop is.
Or we might know the guy in the skid steer.
You might. Shit, you might.
But
Friedman, for the last time, you don't have a fucking microphone. Shut up.
When he took out that right there, when he took out the cop car, that one I was just like, okay, I'm on this guy's side.
I was expecting him to like pick that motherfucker up and like go underneath that bitch or something.
He did with a couple other vehicles.
Do you think that this guy doesn't own this Bobcat?
You know the cop's fucking shitting bricks. You know he's shitting bricks. He's like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
Do I shoot this guy? He's clearly trying to murder me.
Well, and then he goes to just as he aimed the gun, everybody in the know what's beyond your.
Oh yeah,
You're
gun.
pointing at the
he aimed it right into a crowd.
like
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
treat never keep no, bro.
Get the right angle.
Speaking of,
So does it say who the guy was?
Is the guy's where's
Scroll up. I think it might have said it. Oh no, never mind.
keep
it
going?
just says the driver, whose it was or how he got into it.
Jeff McRichards.
Oh, that's the guy.
62. Oh,
That's the guy who
Oh,
videoed it.
sorry, we almost fucking.
Wow.
He destroyed the front doors of a liquor store.
A 62-year-old guy took that video. Way to go,
Right.
fucking Jeff, man. Quick on the
I
trigger.
bet you it's an iPhone because that camera stabilization is great. Just the average Home Depot experience.
Eddie's a smartass. I love the guy. He's great.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Samuel Payrot
I don't know who
of
that-
Lincoln was arrested on charges including second-degree assault on an officer, second-degree assault and criminal mischief. Connection with the incident, police said. So, speaking of which,
Kids.
in local news,
Don't leave your keys in your skid steers. I know it's Nebraska, but see, Mom, don't leave your shit unlocked with your keys in it all the time.
in local news, there was a gentleman who opened fired on the west side of San Antonio at his fucking apartment complex last week, right? Do you remember that grunt style event at Burleson Beer Yard where we all got shit faced and you guys left early and I told you I got into the fist fight with that guy afterwards? You remember that?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Was that the same dude?
That is the same dude who opened fired on and then tried to fight SWAT cops and then got grazed in the head by a SWAT officer. Guess who the SWAT officer was that grazed him in the head? Jesse Noriega, who we also fucking know. So I text Jesse today and I was like, hey, I heard you shot Vasquez in the head. Nice. And he's like, fucker had it coming, man. Yeah. He's like, he's lucky my shit was obscured. He's got a fucking second chance. But
No,
yeah.
bitch, you missed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this fucker right here. So Jose Vasquez, he's a Marine veteran. He also used to be a Bear County deputy. But I know him, and don't get me wrong, I went to college.
So he went from the Marine Corps to being a Bear County deputy.
and then was in college with me for criminal justice. And he's got a couple master's degrees as well. He's a
And then
well-educated
now
guy.
he wants to shoot people up.
Well, the thing is,
Shooting multiple rounds from the inside of his first floor apartment.
yep.
Maybe he was
Rounds are
just
going through the walls.
Was he an
scaring
officer?
Neighbors.
Was he an officer?
Former officer, it says.
No, like officer in the military.
No.
Oh, I thought he was just trying to unload and clear his weapon.
I,
Yes, that's
I believe he did 4 years and walked. I'm not sure, but
Man, that looks like I don't know where the round grazed, but it definitely hit his cheek and his forehead, maybe his nose, a little on his chin. It's weird. It's all on the same side of his face, though.
Well, those are
it's like
definitely
the shooter was
those are
right-handed.
Definitely gravel imprints on that side of his face.
yeah, could be a boot. Could be a boot.
No, that's definitely gravel.
Yeah.
I've had it before. I know what that looks like.
Yeah, but yeah. So I went to college with this guy, and he was a part of Satmar. And the problem is that unfortunately, I honestly think that Jose's got a lot of issues in his brain housing group, right?
Yeah,
like
well, obviously.
he's got some mental health issues,
That
and
says it right there.
yeah, and I think he needs a lot of help. But I also think he is
He was arrested.
pretty dangerous.
So he worked for the Bear County Sheriff's, and he was arrested on official oppression charges and dishonorably discharged.
Yeah.
The charge was later dismissed.
Official oppression. What does that mean? Oppression charges.
He's probably fucking beating up inmates,
A
more than likely.
little
Yeah.
over aggressive.
And then he was shot in the head by Noriega, who's been with SAPD for 23 years and is now on administrative duty per department protocols. He's fine.
Oh, so he gets a vacation.
He's fine, by the way.
And a vacation.
Jesse's good. So I talked to him today. But
Keep scrolling down.
I thought it was really funny that I just thought it was really funny that
Okay.
I knew both these fuckers.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's fucking silly. But yeah, he like I hope Jose gets the help he needs and probably needs to spend some time behind bars. Can't be shooting up apartment buildings with
No.
fucking families
And
and,
then
shit,
fighting
man.
SWAT officers.
Yeah, it's not a good look,
That's
dude.
never going to end well.
And the fact that another Marine had to fucking draw down on you and fucking shoot you in the head to make you chill the fuck
Yeah.
out. That should say something, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I even told Jesse, it was like not the first time another Marine's had to fucking get into it with this guy. And I told him about the incident. And basically, he was getting handsy with a girl at a bar one time. Freeman, you actually might have been there too.
He doesn't have a mic.
He doesn't have a mic. But it was a nasty scuffle between him and I, and well, I beat the piss out of him, and
Well,
fucking,
you're lucky you didn't have a gun.
I don't think he'd have been able to use it. That guy was fucking shit
He
faced
was
then, but because
I remember that because I left because he was so shit faced.
yeah. Remember, because at first he pulled a knife on somebody, and then he threw a table.
I don't remember the knife. I remember the table.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, man, let's go.
yeah, and I think like I got into it with him shortly after that, so
Yeah.
right after you left. And yeah, so it's fucked up, man. but it's still kind of fucking funny just being the fact that I fucking know them both. And I was like, dude, you shot my guy in the head. Fucking A. Like,
It's just proof that Mikey lives on both sides of the fence.
hey, dude, be friends with everybody. Hang out with everybody.
Know when to walk away.
Yeah.
Know when to run.
As long as your personal ethics are okay, it's fine. Like, you're not involved with the shit. Bad.
I'm going to use one of my favorite terms here, but we know you're morally flexible.
Well, sometimes. Admittedly so. Yeah.
All my friends are a little bit.
You got to be a little bit. There's some shades of gray in there, you know. Living in that gray area. So yeah, man, had a lot of good jumpers this weekend. A lot of good ones. My squad made me look like a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
Dude, it wasn't even really fair though, man. I had all like fucking airborne refresher dudes who had all jumped before. I had 5 students. 3 of them were retired special forces. Right? One of them was an airborne infantry guy from the 101st.
Well,
Another one wasn't
there.
but he had jumped. He had been airborne before. And then another one was like a 82nd dude that was mechanized that jumped all the fucking time too.
Huh.
So it was like, he was like, yeah, we're all really good. Like all of my students were hitting like the sand pit and everything, and everybody else is fucking like everywhere. And a couple trips to Fahey Forest out there, a couple trips. Yeah. But nobody got hurt. All in all, fucking great weekend, man. We were jumping out of a caravan instead of the Cessna. So it was like 2 in the door, 1 on the bench type of thing. And that helped move it along. But and when I was jump mastering, all my students fucking my spots were good. So I looked really good this weekend.
When we were in Costa Rica, there was a skydive Costa Rica. And if we would have had another day or two, I might have went and looked at it. But we were hanging out the bar, and one of the tourists I ran into that I was talking to, he had just done it. And he said it was pretty awesome. So
yeah. Probably a tandem factory.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like QS.
what a great place to do it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I found out some info on Skydive Key West.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is a tandem factory.
Yeah.
You know, it is so fucking difficult to fun jump there. Like they won't let you.
I
Like,
believe
you
it.
got to know a guy.
Well, there's no
land
room
in advance and all this crazy shit.
There's
It's wild.
I don't know where you would do it other than where they do it. There's not room in the little island chain there.
Yeah.
Because there's no open acres. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to have like
Yeah.
a certain licensing and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to be a D licensed jumper. You have to be able to hit like, in order to be a D licensed jumper, you have to be Johnny on the spot. With
Yeah.
fucking your landings and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
because they're where you land is essentially right next to the runway.
Sure.
And that's it. Like
Yeah.
there's no, there was probably less than an acre of
Yeah.
drop zone.
Well, I mean, most skydive places have very small landing areas, right? They have alternatives, like Palaca, for instance. The Skydive Palaca's landing area is very, very small, but
Technically.
But if you had to fucking bail to a secondary, there's a whole lot of fucking secondary, right? Like,
Well, that's just for free fall. For static line,
for static
your
line.
landing zone is the entire airfield.
Yeah. For static line, it's like try to hit green, dude.
Yeah, it's softer.
Please
Yeah.
hit green.
But then again, dude,
In Key West though, there's a lot of there's a lot of blue you can hit and you'll be fine.
sure, absolutely.
That would be I'd be like, no, I'm not going to make that.
Yeah, I'm not hitting.
I'm not doing it.
I'm damn sure not hitting that tree or that rock. I'm hitting that blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking A. Sorry about your rental gear, bro.
It was the wind. You're jumping steerables.
Like, I have this conversation with students all the time on that shit too, where they're like, well, I don't want to hit the pavement. I don't want to hit the pavement. I'm like, why?
It's better than a building.
I'm like,
or a tree.
I'm like, that the pavement's flat.
Yeah.
Like, it's flat.
Yeah.
Like,
You practice PLFs.
That's what PLFs are for, man. And if you execute a proper one, the pavement don't hurt at
It
all.
doesn't matter
dude.
what
Yeah.
you're landing on as long as it's flat.
Yeah. And if you're a 173rd, that it's like their job is to do airfield fucking insertions. Like their job is to hit fucking pavement, man. Like
You're landing on tarmac.
I don't know. I was op 4 when I was in the 101st one time for, I think one of the Ranger regiments. They came in and they did the Campbell's Airfield seizure. And they were dropping equipment, you know, like their fucking buggies and the motorcycles and dropping all that shit. And I personally watched 3 guys hit real hard, real. It was night, and they had to jump from like 500 feet. It was fucking low as shit.
Well, that's terrifying in itself.
And but like I'm watching through my nods, and these guys are fucking fucked up hitting the goddamn.
Yeah, I've seen a few
Tarmac.
dudes hit tarmac. What really sucks is the initial impact isn't fun, but it's the follow on, especially if winds are high and you get drugged down tarmac.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit sucks.
Yeah.
I put an idea in Markham's head about doing a tandem with Bob as the tandem rig. Because he's got that one big orange one. It's like a Set 10 XL. It's just a huge orange.
Like a
round.
static line tandem?
Yeah. I was like, could you do a static line tandem?
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, as long as it was like somebody really little.
No.
You just have to meet your weight requirements.
Yeah. Well, the Bob, you could probably go up to like 500, fucking 600 pounds with that fucking thing. You know, like.
I don't see why not.
Right?
The landing's going to suck.
Oh, fuck.
You better be talking to each other. Feet knees together, Rich.
Yeah. Front right, back left.
Speaking of that, like we were at the beach and they were doing all the parasailing, and they would take off right from the beach and then they'd try to drop them, you know, real close. But that was pretty cool.
Parasailing.
But they didn't. I thought that it was on a winch and they winched you back to the boat.
Yeah.
Nope. The boat just quit moving.
Yeah, drop it in the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drop them in the water. And it was kind of cool.
The parasailing goes along the same lines as bungee jumping and amusement park rides for me.
Dude, this ride where they were doing it looked like it would have been awesome, though.
Tell them.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that get paid to maintain that equipment don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Oh, I get it. Especially in a
Nope.
Nope.
in a
Exactly.
country like
So like that'd be, let's go parasailing. You guys have fun. I'll sit on the beach. I'm good.
As long as the rope
Now-
breaks between you and the boat, you're fine. Because you're just going to float down.
I've
If
gone-
the rope breaks between you and the parachute, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Or if your harness breaks,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I'm not worried about the rope and a parachute
Yeah.
separating or the parachute and the boat separating because I have a parachute, but
Yeah.
it's me separating from the parachute
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not separating from the boat.
That would be bad too.
Yeah. Like
You're getting drug into the ground faster.
I've gone bungee jumping and I'm glad. And I don't really have a desire to do it again. And
Yeah.
I've gone parasailing and I'm glad. Same thing with amusement rides. The last time we fucking went to Six Flags, I almost died. Like literally, like the safety harness, when we went on the one that goes straight up and down and it just drops you or shoots you up, we get to the top before it drops, my safety harness came unclipped. But 2 weeks later, that dude flew out of his seat and fucking died because the safety harness came unclipped.
Yeah.
Right? That was the last time. It's because the people who maintain them, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. Well, it's minimum wage fucking
Exactly.
workers, dude.
You
No
know?
health insurance.
Go,
They're
check
like,
this
fuck
shit.
you.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
especially
it's
like the traveling carnivals.
Oh, dude. Carnies,
I
bro.
worked at one in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school. And that's actually where I found.
You were a carny?
So I ran.
Look at him.
Your hands are way too big.
I
that
ran.
have to
I got a job they had a bungee jump place
Yeah.
at the state fair in Minnesota, and I got a job with the bungee jump people. And all I did was hook people up and fucking toss them out of the basket. And one of the main reasons I got this job is because if you go up in the basket, they have a little camera up there, right? And there's at the time, I mean, this was 98, 99 maybe. I think it was summer 99.
Okay.
There was like no red lights or anything on cameras. It was just this creepy fucking camera up there. And it was like 2 days into the 2-week fair. And I'm like, fuck's the camera up there for? And they're like, oh, chicks go up, they flash their tits, they jump for free. And I'm like, I'm so glad I got this job. And inside their little travel van, I'll just have fucking pictures of tits all over the fucking thing. I was just like, you guys are creeps.
My first time bungee jumping, I was in Mexico, which is fucking terrifying in and of itself. And I remember I was in Rosarito Beach at Senor Frogs, and like you're bungee jumping over a fucking swimming pool. That's it.
better than the tarmac.
So this one, it was a 110-foot crane, and they had this blow up like blob thing underneath it, and that was like your safety mat. And so
I'm good with that.
when I was working there, nothing.
I've jumped one of those.
Just wait. When I was working there, nothing ever happened. Right? Everything was totally fine. Nothing broke. Nobody slid out. You know, whatever. No accidents. No incidents. So we're breaking down, like the last evening of the fair. And one of the big things that we had to do is disconnect everything from the basket. All the bungee shit had to go on the ground. And then we were like, hey, can you bring us up like 20 feet up? And we just jump off the basket onto the little blow up thing. Like, it'd be cool as shit. You know what I mean? And the guy running the crane's like, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. Let's like get in. We're like, sweet. So it's me and two other guys that work there. And we're like, how much is this weight? How much weight can this hold? And they're like, it'll stop somebody from falling. And we're like, okay, so 3 of us are fine.
At 20 feet? Okay,
Yeah, 20 feet. I'm like, we're going to be good to go. So he brings us up. We all fucking jump out. As soon as we hit this, the fucking main seam rips. We all hit the ground. Right? And so we're like, oh, fuck. Like, we're not going to fix this. We're not going to pay to fix this. Like, how do we fix this thing? So we start looking at this stitch. Somebody already did this. And the stitch was hand done 1 row. And that was it. And that was the whole thing together in case somebody died. So what did we do? We hand stitched this bitch back together, folded it up, put it in the truck.
Fucking scumbags.
Yeah. So like, I have personal reasons why I'm not doing this shit anymore.
That's a pretty solid reason. That's how you know they don't give a fuck, because you used to be one of the guys that did not give a fuck.
Well, but somebody else didn't give a fuck before me, and I'm not about to get in trouble for it.
I was going to say, like, I would trust one of those bags.
Nope.
Because I watched all those Nitro Circus guys. But
Those are different.
Yeah.
apparently.
Those guys care about safety.
Well, that's because
They're the ones
doing it. Yeah.
Dude, I remember that I was fucking scared as shit, and I was standing up on this thing rigged up, and I'm like freaked the fuck out. And it was just like, it wasn't like feet first, or it wasn't like by your feet or anything. It was like hooked to your back, so you're just going and being. So it was real. It was as far as bungee jumping goes, it was the most mildest one, right? And I was like, I'm fucking terrified. And the guy, I swear to God, the guy fucking pulls the bungee cord in and hand stitched in like this shitty, clearly made in Mexico fucking tag. It just says made in USA, and it's all fucked up. And I'm like, I don't believe you, man. I don't fucking believe you. And he starts laughing at me, and he's like, you want me to push you? And I'm like, don't you fucking dare, bro. You push me and I live, I'm coming back up here and chucking you out without this motherfucker. And I was like, give me a minute, dude. So it took me probably a solid fucking 5 or 10 minutes. It felt like fucking forever before I fucking said fuck it and went.
That was my first skydive experience out of Black Hawk. Yeah. My brain did not want me to jump.
It is not a natural.
Like I wanted to jump, and my brain's just like, what the well, I'm in a Black Hawk, right? So I'm used to riding Black Hawks.
Sure.
Yeah.
But when it comes to time to jump out of one, your brain is like, wait, what?
No. We don't do this.
Yeah.
My last bungee jumping experience was actually 2003. End of 2003. I was a mentor leave from Iraq. And
there's no fucks there.
None. But so I went back to Arizona, and the girl I was dating at the time's like, hey, let's go to Vegas for 4 days, and you just fly back from Vegas. And I'm like, okay.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. So they used to have a bungee, I think it was like 173 feet outside of Circus.
Yeah.
It was one of the tallest stationary ones in North America.
I remember that.
It's no longer open.
Someone died.
Well, there's always got to be a laugh.
They had a pool at the bottom, but when you're up there looking down, it looks like you're jumping into this cup of whiskey. Yeah. And but that was pretty fun. I jumped, I don't know, 6 or 8 times there, because it was just like, maybe I won't have to go back to Iraq after this one.
Yeah, right.
So speaking of jumping in the cup of whiskey, have you guys watched like those fucking shows where they just dive into the little ass kiddie pool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
That's just bananas, man.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, they've got it down to a science.
Well,
Like, they know
obviously.
like when to fucking like arch and shit and fucking how to do all that. It's like,
Have you guys
But how do you practice that?
right?
have you guys seen
Slowly.
that back in the day, like the late 1800s, early 1900s, at traveling fairs and circuses, there was a guy or a person, I don't know if it was a guy or girl, that would ride a horse, but they built this contraption that they take this horse up on the top of this platform, and him and the horse would dive off like 50, 60 feet into water, into a pool, and the horse would do it too with him. Like, he'd be on the horse as they both go off.
I think I've seen this.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Clearly they don't do this anymore,
No.
but
Justin's gonna find that. He's looking for this video. I think I've seen this.
I'm curious about this.
But how you get that horse to do it? Because
the first time's no problem, because horses are very
stupid.
as long as they trust as long as they trust you,
Yeah.
you can do they will do anything for you.
Yeah.
But
It's one of those fool me once.
that's the thing. Like, how do you find a horse that likes to do that? And how does it tell you?
You feed it Mountain Dew.
Well, it didn't happen back then.
Well, you know how you find it, John. You do this, and the horse, without you getting back on it, goes back up and does
It does it again. Like, ooh, that's fun. Here we go. Yep. This is 1923.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, that's nuts.
And how deep is that pool got to be?
Well, deep enough for that horse. That's crazy.
That's insane. Insane.
That's
It
hilarious.
pops right back up.
Yeah, he's totally
Well,
with
I
it.
think he jumped off the bottom of that pool because that's diving horses.
That's your old Jackie Carvis.
That's crazy, though. Like, no way. I could.
I'm watching for her command to go. What does she do?
I definitely wouldn't do this without.
Oh, they cut it out.
I think it's just all.
Yeah, it's got a weird jump. It's fucking weird.
Wow.
It's like the moon landing. Didn't really happen.
Oh, they get the camera there before you set foot on the moon.
They thought of that, man. It was on the outside. Like, fuck.
That was 1923, by the way.
Wow. Wow. How about them Cowboys? I thought you would appreciate that there, Justin.
As a Texans fan, oh man, I had a good weekend.
I
of
don't
football.
think Dallas has seen a murder like that since 1963.
What happened? It wasn't their year again.
It's
No,
always
it was-
their year, right?
It was the exact same year they've had year over and over and over again.
We them boys, this is our year. We're going all the way. It's Super Bowl. Let's get to the playoffs. Choke. Repeat. And wash, rinse, repeat every time. And it's fucking
I can't
comedy.
remember who was playing, but I think it was last weekend. We went out to get lunch one day, or maybe early dinner. I can't remember. And there was a game on, and they were playing for a playoff spot. And both teams were 5-11, playing for the fucking playoff spot.
Huh.
Like, what happened to football?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, usually you have a team that has like a winning record.
Well, like it really depends on your division, right? Because I remember one year. Do you remember the year that Tom Brady got hurt, and the Patriots went 11-5 that year, and we didn't make the playoffs at 11-5.
That's what I'm saying.
But like
These guys are 5-11.
but like the Chargers that year were like 8-8 and made the playoffs, and we were like, that's some bullshit. But it's
Yeah.
all division shit.
Yeah,
right?
but
Like,
5-11.
yeah.
How about the Patriots? With
They fired Bill Belichick.
It's about time.
they fire him, or I think you just.
I think it was a little bit of a mutual thing, but the way it was written is that they let him go.
Oh, really?
You know, but
Where is he going?
There's
who
a
knows?
lot of talks. I think
I heard
he's going to retire.
a rumor.
no. He's got 15 games to take the record for all-time most wins as a coach.
I heard a rumor.
Oh, 15 games is it?
15 games.
Oh, he's
he'll
gotta
do
do
that.
Yeah.
He'll do that because that's a challenge, and
Yeah.
Billy Boy loves it.
I heard a rumor that he was going to go to the Cowboys
It'd be a smart move.
because Robert Kraft is one of the only teams that he absolutely fucking hates.
Yeah.
Really?
And Robert Kraft's the owner of the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I was like, if he does that out of spite, like,
But do you think
about
it's like? I mean, obviously he's a proven coach, right? Like,
Oh yeah, the most
So-
winningest coach in history.
almost.
what do the
Yeah,
Patriots
almost.
hope to gain by getting rid of him?
Well, that was the thing. It's like, so they could have traded him, and they decided against that. They were like, it was more of instead of trading him, they're like, we want to keep him in our hearts forever. We're not going to
We're just gonna fire him.
like the relationship that we've built. You can't put a price on.
Yeah,
That's the way they put it. And
Right.
they're like, and so we're not gonna try to use him as a bargaining chip because
Okay.
that's
Oh,
just
that's-
not. It was a classy move.
yeah.
One thing, you can say what you want about Robert Kraft. He's a classy son of a bitch, man. I mean, unless he's getting a rub and tug.
hey,
But
Get in, stupid. We're going to go pay for hand jobs.
hey, if Bobby Kraft was like, Mikey, you want to rub? Fucking let's go. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Fucking. No, but dude, as a Patriots fan, which we were the worst team in the league this year.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I thought the Jets beat y'all out for worst team.
I don't think so. I think we were below them. Well, I think we were the bottom of our division, and Jets are in our division. So,
I'll let you know in a sec.
Yeah, it was a rough year. I mean, I remember the Bledsoe year, so I remember us sucking, so it's fine. We had.
But I have a feeling like,
but 4 years in a row, there is changes that need to be made. When you have a losing team for 4 years in a row, you got to look.
Has
eventually.
it been 4 years already?
Yeah, Brady's been retired for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 4-13.
Oh no,
Oof.
Panthers were worse. 2-15.
Oh, were they?
Wow.
Yeah, y'all were like only.
We were the worst in the
6.
AFC. Then.
We were
Yeah.
second to last. Carolina.
Yeah, Panthers.
Yep.
So yeah, but they're NFC. So we were worst in our conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at 4 years, and then they hired Jared Mayo, who used to be one of our linebackers, great linebacker. But now he's been a linebacker coach for the last few years, and they hired him, and he's officially the youngest coach in the NFL now. So it went from having the oldest coach to the youngest coach.
He's the head coach now. No.
Yeah. Yeah, he took over for Belichick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And he was y'all defensive play caller.
Yeah.
Like he's been coaching with the team for a little while.
Yeah,
Apparently, this was like worked into his contract.
That
Of
he
like-
was going to be heir apparent.
Yeah.
Really?
Like once Belichick left, then they were going to be like, all right, you're up next.
Wow.
Which,
Wow.
cool.
How old is he?
Fucking
probably
27 or some
No,
shit.
really?
He's pretty young. He's
No.
pretty young.
Well, I bet it's 30s, 32, 33. Because just
Sean McVay.
but you got to get out of
youngest.
you got to get out of college. You got to play NFL, and then you got to start coaching.
True.
37 years old.
37.
37, okay.
Not 27. 37.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense
Yeah.
in my brain.
I mean, I knew he was young,
Yeah,
but for a head coach, that's a baby.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we also got like the college football world. Nick Saban retired too. So that's a fucking hammer. So
Yeah, it's been a crazy year of football.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of time before Belichick retired or left the Patriots. He's been with them for what,
24 seasons.
Yeah,
Four.
24, 25 years.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at what point is your
But why
whatever
don't-
$30 or $40 million a year salary? Like, it's not because
But why
of the money
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, right. But why don't you want to go out on top? Why didn't he?
It's
He
a challenge.
did. He went out, he's not done yet, but he has a legacy of a career.
No, I get that.
That's what it is. He's
You
got
know what
more-
I mean? It's
like when he wears all of his rings from because remember he was Bill Parcells like understudy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? When he wears all of his rings, he makes Tom Brady look like fucking nothing.
yeah.
Like Belichick's he's got every finger with like 3 rings on each
Huh.
type of shit, man. Like he's fucking crazy stacked. Whether it's championship rings, fucking Super Bowl rings, what have you.
Yeah.
I mean, that motherfucker's got rings on rings on rings, dude. So I think he's got a boat that after the Patriots won their 4th, he changed the name to like 7 Rings is the name of his boat.
yeah.
And then they kept winning. And he was like, I got to change my fucking boat's name again.
I like when they photoshopped a 6th finger onto Brady when he got his 6th ring.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I respect the legacy that Bill Belichick has because even like they always say, like you should go out on top.
Yeah.
He definitely did not go out on top. The last 2 seasons were rough, but you
Yeah.
still look at him and you're like, no, that dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Like
he is.
he unfortunately didn't have the last 2 seasons were not great, but you can still be like, no, that's the
I
GOAT.
just in my brain, because coming from the old Husker eras, right? Like we were on top for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And now,
In the 80s.
yeah,
Not
early 90s. No, but seriously.
Yeah.
But then once all that went away, it's been not good since, right? And so how long is it going to take the Patriots to get back to,
Well, I don't think the Patriots are
20
gonna,
years.
yeah.
I don't think the Patriots are going to hire their star quarterback as a head coach.
No, I get that. But John, that was literally like the 5th coach.
No, I know. I was there for like I
Yeah.
lived in Nebraska at that time, and I was just like, oh wow. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So what'd you do this weekend? I had a cool weekend. He had a cool weekend. What'd you do?
I had a great weekend. It was one of the first weekends in months where I didn't really have anything that I had to do. I didn't have to travel. I didn't have to go to town.
To be fair, we did ask if they wanted to go.
Yeah, you definitely tried to get us to go to Costa Rica and
And it would have been fun.
And it was a strong maybe that was it. There was thought put into it.
Next time, because it was fun.
But yeah, I didn't have anything going on, and it was awesome. So, so we decided to cook.
Oh,
So Dave made chili, fucking nailed it.
Nice.
I found a beef stew recipe that I thought was going to be good. No, I did. Because I was like, I want to make beef stew. I was like, but I don't want to do like my normal, whatever. So I'm going to try this.
when you say
recipe that-
thought it would be good, it means
just based on reading it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jesus fucking Christ, was it good?
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
It really was.
when
The way you said it, it was like
Because
it
I was-
sounded like
I
he was like,
thought it was going to be good, but it was terrible.
right?
Yeah,
No,
that's what I
going
was
into it, I'm like, oh, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, but
I
it
love
was
me a good
it was
beef stew.
It was awesome.
a
It was
good
really
beef stew is where it's at.
And then we made meatballs and sauce, homemade meatballs and sauce also.
Okay.
And those are fucking phenomenal. But I think other than that, the only time Dave and I left the house, the feeder out at the property was getting ransacked. And so we had to put a stop to the ransacking.
By pigs?
Horses, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we had to go string up a fence around the feeder to keep the horses out, but let the pigs and the deer in.
Yeah.
And then there's a fucking raccoon that
There's always a raccoon.
got a dirty little
He's
dick,
up there fucking.
dirty little dick beater print on the fucking feeder, and I'm like, you motherfucker! I haven't seen him yet, so I don't know when it comes out, but yeah,
How far away is your blind from that feeder?
50 yards
It's a good 22 shot.
or 6'5".
Yeah.
No, it
No
would
such
be a
thing
good
as
22.
overkill.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
You want to borrow my 4570? That'll be a funny one.
No, when you get a can, maybe.
When I get a can.
Yep. And then I'm gonna hook it up into a sled. And I'm gonna tie a string to it. And I'm gonna be 50 yards away from the truck.
Fucking.
But yeah, other than that, it was funny. Clearly, Dave and I haven't built a fence in a very long time. So we're sitting at Tractor Supply and we're both like, what else do we need? I think this might be it. I don't know.
Some T-posts and some barbed wire or
Yeah,
what?
T-post and barbed wire. It was just basic.
Yeah.
But,
Do like an octagon around it or something.
actually, because there's already a fence line that's up and the horses don't have access past that, we just built essentially a U
Oh, okay.
around the feeder and a couple trees for stability.
Nice.
And then on the game cam, I could see the horses at their normal time on the other side of the fence line, like
I
just
was like,
pissed.
motherfucker.
Like, this is my midnight snack.
I was supposed to get some corn. My next text would have been to Jim and been like, hey, you owe me a bag of fucking corn.
It's not their fault.
Your fat fucking horses are eating my shit. If my dog fucking eats my neighbor's fucking gazelles, I got to fucking deal with that. All right. It's the same thing,
Oh,
man.
man, your neighbor's an asshole. These, I like animals though. I like animals.
Me too,
I
man.
don't like people.
Yeah, fuck those neighbors.
They're just big pasture puppies. That's
Yeah,
it.
of course. Of course.
They don't know any better. It's just food.
When I was up in Arkansas doing that predator hunt, he had a horse at the property we were staying at. And she was like real friendly. It was like a pony. It was like his daughter's pony or whatever.
Yeah.
And it came over to the fence and we were all fucking with it. And I was like rubbing, I was petting it and shit. It was like, all right. I was like, this one's all right. Good night, man. What's up? What's up there, you big dog? Just a big dog.
It's really it.
I was telling these guys earlier also, my dog Tank decided to start throwing up today because I think he does this every couple months because he'll eat shit that he's not supposed to eat. And the backstrap of a crock came out of his guts. So there's fucking that. I saw my son's blue croc the other day, and it's like his outside shoes that he throws on, right? And I noticed that it didn't have the strap on anymore, and it was like broken. It was like kind of like ripped,
Right.
So I was like, oh, it probably just came off, and he pulled the rest of it off, and he's using a slip on, so whatever, no big deal. But I couldn't find the strap. It's because it was inside my bulldog.
Yeah.
Well, you're a fucking maniac, man.
So we did Friday. We sat in the blinds to see if some pigs came out. No pigs showed up, and it got cold because it was right when this cold front kicked in.
Sure.
So we got in the blind. We were sitting there in like essentially a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt. That was it. Like we had jackets. We took them off. It was warm. And So we sat probably 2 hours after sunset. And as soon as that fucking sun went down, that cold came quick.
You know what? Michelle's got those little desk heaters, and we have that battery pack.
Ryobi makes it.
Yeah, I have the Ryobi.
It wasn't
too.
that cold.
I'm just saying, like,
That'd probably be good for this weekend, though.
yeah,
Dude.
shit, maybe,
Dude, I've been in blinds with fucking heaters before.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Was when Scott got his first Texas deer, we were smoking cigars and had the heater going full blast.
No, yeah.
But anyway, so the deer, there was a young 6 or 8 point that decided to want to come have some dinner while we were sitting out there. And so I got a picture of him through the scope because when he walked out, I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I got behind the gun and zoomed in, and this motherfucker's tongue is just hanging out of his mouth as he's just walking around.
I'm looking for the corn.
Yeah, it's just hanging out the whole fucking time. I'm like, Dave, look at this shit.
I want the corn, guys. Where's the corn at?
Right?
Let me get the corn, guys.
That's like we've talked about it before, but like the deer with the real fucked up racks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like we think they're like cool trophies. They're probably like the fucking like
The doe's looking at it like, no thanks, bro.
What the fuck is this guy?
What are you drinking on over there?
Oh, so this is some Elijah Craig from Mr. Robert Haish, one of our buddies from Nebraska, I guess, who stopped down. I was gone. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him. But he brought us a good bottle of booze and then
A not so good
a
bottle
not
of
so good
booze.
And I think he may have done that intentionally because I think he listens to this podcast.
Just to be a smart ass.
Yeah.
Send you a bottle of Johnny Double Black.
But the Elijah Craig is it's tasting pretty good right now.
Elijah Craig's pretty hard to beat.
So we were talking when he was here on Friday, and he's been a customer of the gun store since the gun store was in Columbus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've known Mr. Haish forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he walked in, he's like, he's like, you remember me? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking remember you.
The funny thing is, I've known him when he was a single guy.
Yeah.
He got married. I think he has 2 daughters now who are like, what, 8 or 9, probably 10, 12. I don't know. It's been fucking forever.
Right?
Yeah. Oldest one's 8. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he came down and hung out. He was down here pig hunting with a buddy of his.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I knew he had known y'all for a while because he said he knew Dave back when he was drinking.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
shit-
drank
Holy
with
shit.
Dave.
You know, you've known Robert longer than I have then. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a good dude. He's bought suppressors and he's all into this.
It's been 11 years for Dave.
And in your first
That's the
round,
beginning of this month.
and what John and I are on, we're on this Basil Hayden Dark Rye,
Which
courtesy of
also
our good friend Chris Freeman over here, who always comes in with some good goodies. Man, that's a solid bottle of booze, man. I'm a big fan.
Speaking of that, Basil Hayden had a new whiskey that was out.
Scott didn't remember.
This, what was it? The mash rye? Rye mash, right?
Yeah.
Rye mash.
And
I think it was good.
we got a bottle. And I don't remember how it tasted, but it definitely worked.
Yeah.
You said it only lasted about an hour, so.
Well, it was 1 pour,
2
pours,
2 pours.
2 pours each.
Yeah,
in
and
the
we
bottle.
we killed the bottle.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Williams was like, I was going to try that. And I was like, here.
Have some.
It didn't taste that way. I remember that.
By the end of the night,
He
it
said it's
was
higher
that
octane,
way.
but again, he doesn't have a fucking microphone. So, this is it. These are only 80 proof?
And that's why it's so good.
Oh.
And that, what's the dark rye? What they put it in a special barrel or something?
Finishes dark berries.
Yeah, because that's
Caramel, molasses,
I definitely get some fruit off.
oak, and spice. Artfully aged by the James Beam Distilling Company.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Is that Jim's brother?
I think so. I do. I think so. I think Jim is the outcast, clearly.
He's the white trash one.
Yeah. He was unaware that you could also abbreviate James by Jazz, and so he went with Jim.
Should we start calling Jazz Jim?
No.
Why not?
Or-
It's short for James.
Or Jim Jazz.
Ooh. We're gonna call one of them Jimmy.
Yeah, who's gonna be Jimmy?
I don't know.
I bet Big Jim loves to be called Jimmy.
You know what? That'll be more fun. Let's call him Jimmy. That'll be way more fun. Yep, Big Jim's now Jimmy. Yep. We're gonna get him on the show again and just call him Jimmy the whole
Our
time.
guest is Jimmy from episode Fuck You, Sir.
We got Big Jimmy here. Fucking Jimmy.
I bet he loves being called Jimmy as much as Mikey likes being called Mickey.
Well, Mickey's not my name.
It cracks me up when people do that.
Yeah, there's no, like you all know the fucking jingle. You sung it your whole goddamn life.
Yeah, but yours isn't spelt that way.
There's no C in my name. I know. Like, it's like, dude, I'll write down Mikey and they're like, Mickey? I'm like,
Do you think Mickey Mouse was Irish? Do you think it was all just a big troll?
oh boy.
Do you think it was a big troll? Like, we're going to name this mouse Mickey. We're just going to talk shit about the Irish the whole time.
Good. Maybe. I mean,
I'm going to call him Mick Mouse from now on.
dude, Disney is not notoriously very, fucking
Back
woke until recently.
Yeah, back in the day, it was awesome.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
old
Old
cartoons.
Steamboat Willie.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, fucking.
That's when I learned that you can do blackface in animation.
Yeah. Yeah. That still works. Shit. Dude, I don't remember which South Park episode it was, but it was Cartman was in blackface and then like Token was in whiteface.
There's an old
best.
cartoon from Disney that shows how they make Swiss cheese
Yeah.
and how they put the holes in the cheese.
And it's
And when you look at it now, you're like, oh,
yeah.
that's
It's just Mickey fucking
Hey,
cheese.
if you can pull that scene up,
Oh, I guarantee you. Mickey Mouse Swiss cheese and
Yeah.
it'll pop up.
that's a good one.
That is a good one. Pull it up. Oh man.
Yeah. So then we had the Iowa elections,
Yeah.
the caucus.
the caucus.
Yeah. Trump fucking crushed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikki Haley made a big fucking jump too.
No, she was third, right?
Second.
No,
She beat DeSantis,
No,
I
no,
thought.
no, I don't think so.
I don't know. She's polling better than he is right now. Did you see the dude that brought DeSantis a participation trophy?
No.
Oh, that was amazing.
Dude, he was fucking mad.
Oh, it was so awesome. It was so awesome.
He brought him a participation trophy.
No, Nikki Haley was third.
Yep.
Ron
Oh,
DeSantis
there it is.
beat him. Yeah.
So Vivek only got 7%.
So I appreciate the game that he's playing.
Who, Vivek?
He's setting himself up for. He's young enough.
He
Right?
set himself up for VP.
Well, no, for
Himself up.
maybe but
So here's
for future stuff.
here's my prediction.
Okay.
Right,
I think he's a plant.
VP.
I think he's a fucking Democrat.
Oh, he's
plant.
not VP.
No. I think he's VP.
No.
Yep. And then he turns into 2 terms after Trump, continuing whatever the mission is.
I didn't even like who this Ryan guy.
Ryan Brinkley.
And
Well, it's okay. Nobody cares who he is, but he got more votes than Chris Christie.
Asa Hutchinson's a dude. I thought that was a chick.
That's an old man.
I seriously thought it was a chick. I thought that was a chick's name. I've never heard of these people. Chris Christie, 35 votes. But then again, he quit before that. So okay, that might explain it. But
So you got 35 people that don't turn the news on.
Chris Christie was getting fucking smoked on stage by Vivek, man.
But-
Because he would be like,
Yeah, but
well, Vivek just called him out. He was like, look, he's like, you sucked this dude's dick for fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now you turn on him?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
yeah.
You know, he's like, you were licking his boots, I think was the actual term. And then, like, yeah, you fucking.
Well, that and Christie's, this is what, his third time running for president? Like, give it
I think
up.
he's just trying to stay.
relevant.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he shut down the beaches in New Jersey and then went out to the beach? What a
Right?
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
he just didn't want anybody else.
Oh, here
on
we
the
go.
beach.
Here's the old Swiss cheese.
There's Mickey fucking cheese. Yeah.
Like they're not even trying to hide it.
Check out Minnie's tits, bro. Aren't they-
Check out
isn't that
Minnie's smile. She's
Yeah.
like, well, I know what I'm getting later.
funny? Like, yeah. I'm gonna make him call me Cheddar.
I want to
later.
know how it's like big holes and little holes. How you doing that,
It's,
Mickey?
he's a talented man. Cheddar is And she's like,
What year was that? Can you find that?
he's going to call me Cheddar later.
That's funny though. God damn it. What happened to Disney?
People caught on.
Michael B. Jordan's now going to play Hercules.
I don't know what any of that means.
Michael B. Jordan's the dude who played the bad guy in Black Panther.
Okay.
He's going to play Hercules in their remake.
Okay.
He's super Greek looking, obviously.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, fucking obviously. So, and here's the thing. Honestly, I don't give a shit. They're playing make-believe characters, so it doesn't really fucking matter to me. It was like the whole Little Mermaid thing and all this, but you would think that Disney would have learned their lesson after that fucking bomb, right? Like you would think that maybe, hey guys, maybe this isn't working out. Maybe we are,
I have a legit question that I hope doesn't come off completely wrong here.
Here we go.
Get your butt ready.
Yeah,
your
get
butt
this
ready.
ready. But okay, so is it the reason? What's the reason for making all of these white characters black characters now? Is it because it's not fair? Is it because it's not fair to like the black kids seeing all the white characters?
So
That's the excuse that's used.
Because I would never ever feel bad for my children seeing a black character in any aspect of any movie
At all.
at all.
At all.
my opinion, it changed across the board in the United States when they stopped talking about equality and they started talking about equity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when it changed, because then
Like,
it didn't have anything to do with making everything an even playing field.
Right.
It had something to do with bringing one group of people above the rest, purely
Now-
based off
Right.
demographics.
But now I understand history, right? And so like we being white people have kept like I watched The Banker, right?
It's a
Have
little
you guys
forward for you to absurd.
have you seen The Banker?
Yeah.
That movie? It's a great movie, right? But I had no like I knew it happened, I guess, but like to see like how black people couldn't get loans, they couldn't do, like we did keep them from becoming wealthy.
Sure.
And
That's systemic racism.
Yeah, it is, right?
100%. 100%.
But I think we're past that.
100%.
Like
I do too.
I know myself and my children are. I teach them they're equal to everybody,
Yeah.
but they're not fucking special.
Yep.
And I think that should apply across the board.
The problem is that it doesn't. People don't teach their kids that across the board.
And maybe it's not true for some people who were born in, I don't know, in a
Hey, some people get raw deals.
yeah, like
That's true.
But there's white
Fucking
people
A.
born into poverty that can't accomplish anything because of it.
Sure.
Like it just sucks. It's like the lottery, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
but
mean,
yeah, like, but I think, I think obviously we have a couple generations of, we're ahead on that, right? But like me personally, it didn't apply. I wasn't born into wealth at all. Like, yeah, I had to make,
So
same.
like we all joined the military probably because we were broke and had no fucking futures if we didn't, right?
So wealth isn't taught,
It's not taught
but
to
it's
anybody,
not-
and it should be.
But the only way that wealth is taught is through the idea of it. Because if you look, I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to explain this without going on a 30-minute rant. You look at rich people and their family, right? With generational wealth,
Yeah.
people that like you never have to work another day in your life.
Right.
There's a handful of them that are actually taught the value of money.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them just have money, and if you have money, you can make money. It's not that hard to do.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just essentially steamrolling something that was already built in front of you. Whether you do it on your own, or you do whatever the family has done, it is what it is.
Thanks, Dad.
But like I can say collectively, if all of us sitting in this room right now, none of us came from wealth.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
No. Like we might have had people in our families that have been successful,
Right.
but they
Nope.
didn't develop generational wealth that's been passed down,
Right.
that where us or our offspring or anybody else in the family don't have to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in a sense, wealth is taught by work ethic.
It's fucked up. I'm the most fucking successful in my family.
But I think you're right. But it's not taught enough where.
But how do you teach wealth?
Well, I think it could be taught. It should be taught in schools. That look,
how do you teach it? That's the thing. Like, how do you be like, okay, look, this is how you become wealthy.
Yeah.
What do you teach?
So I would tell my children to become wealthy. You fucking go without for the first 10 years of your adulthood. Like you try to save money. I try to teach my children this and they won't understand it. Right. But like my youngest, he gets $20 and as soon as he does, it's fucking gone on something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, look, like the first thing he gets for the Christmas season, $20. I got to spend it. Why don't you wait until after the whole Christmas season? You might have $150.
Yeah.
Right. Why don't you wait till your birthday, Christmas, all the shit, just let it pile up. Yeah. But we're such an instant gratification society.
And even if you find something that you want, right?
Yeah.
Like, just be like, what's that dollar amount? Well, wait until you get that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like, what do you want? Why are you settling for this piece of shit, whatever you kind of want?
Yeah.
Why don't you just wait and get something you really want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you wait and if you show some patience.
Or instead of getting something you really want, try to save up to like make your money work for it.
So,
it's
when
not, but I wish it was taught in school.
When you're trying to teach wealth, telling them to pick a product that they want.
I know.
That's not
No,
that's not developing wealth. That's not,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, like, it's not really something that can be taught in schools.
Yeah.
What has to be I believe the start to being taught about how to be wealthy is how to work. It's how to progress in doing what you're doing. Because you're not going to just start off right. I mean, there's no overnight riches. You're not going to. There's no get rich quick scheme that actually legitimately works without you going to prison or selling drugs. Those are the only two that actually work. You get rich quick,
entrepreneurial spirit,
but
man.
you don't get to keep the money.
Like that guy on your bullets, that was a reformed drug dealer.
Like,
well, like when I bought my first house at Fort Campbell, right? Instead of selling that house, I wish somebody in my family would have been like, look,
you should hold on to it, rent it.
Rent it.
10 years from now, you can sell it.
Yes.
Or 20 years from now when it's paid off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Like nobody, I would have probably listened.
Like I do everything fucking backwards, man. Like I live in my first house. The first house that I bought, I live in it right now.
Yeah.
Right. And thankfully, because I'm older now, I understand a little bit more because if I would have known then what I know now, but holy fuck, man.
Imagine knowing what we know now. We were like 20 years old.
All those times renting, all I'm doing is paying somebody else's fucking mortgage.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
Outside of personal experience, because that's how we've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How else do you learn?
Well, for me, I didn't have any guidance because I had poor parents that died young.
At some point, you might have read an article online, got a book and read that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gain knowledge from somewhere else.
Watch some fucking movie and be like, oh, fuck.
And I think the problem is that a lot of us, our influences were like our senior leadership in the military. And they were
fucking
dumb,
broke motherfuckers.
They didn't know fuck all anyways. And they're the ones teaching the fucking
do your
classes.
taxes.
Yeah.
No, go to an accountant and do your taxes.
Dude, I had a fucking gunny talk me into leasing a car when I was a boot. And it's like
the point that I was getting at this is this little thing right here has all the information in the history of the fucking world.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Right. If you want to learn something, if you want to be wealthy, you have access to all the information that you need to learn the skills that you need to know.
The problem is nobody's told me, when I was 20, nobody told me like, hey, there's a way to become wealthy. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, I needed to get married. I needed to have a family. I needed to buy a house.
I have a friend of mine that's a retired cop.
You move, you got to sell your house and buy another house. Like nobody, like if I had to rent something while I owned a house that I rented out the house for a while,
Yeah.
maybe I would have done that.
See, I have a friend of mine who's a retired cop. Cops don't make money.
Yeah.
They're not well paid. And I mean, you're doing fine, but you're not fucking killing it, right?
Yeah.
Like while he was, him and his wife, both working class folks, when he was a cop, and he's also former military. He didn't retire, but he was former military. And he was like a warrant officer. He was a pilot.
Right.
So he had a little bit saved up. He was buying properties.
Yeah.
And they used to make fun of him, call him a slumlord. They'd always be like, "Oh, fucking slumlord, oh boy, blah, 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 blah." And we talked about this weekend. And he was like, he goes, "It's all fun and games until, they're like, where are you getting your money?" It's like, "Oh, you remember when you were making fun of me about being slumlord? All those properties I owned, they gentrified the area. And now I fucking charge like thousands and thousands of dollars a month for rent for my properties that I own, that I fucking completely own now."
Yeah. It's 100% profit.
Yeah. And now I'm a fucking millionaire because of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's how it works. Right. And he is. And he's a very humble dude. He's a fucking good guy. You know him as well. So does Justin. He's one of the guys I jump with at RSPT. Fucking, and one of my favorite people in the world to fucking make fun of. Like I fucking love him. He was actually the Airborne commander this weekend. And then I made a lot of fun about him. We changed the name to Operation Two Shoots because of him. So, but it's things like that. Like I didn't know that. I didn't know that was even a fucking option. And because like you don't know the fucking loopholes, you don't know the tax laws, you don't know the things that you can do. There's so much fucking miles and miles of red tape. But I know it's available
now today,
it's available
right?
Today it's available.
But even 10 years ago, it was available.
But when I was 20, it wasn't.
No. But I'm just saying, for people, for today's day and age, not when we were younger, because we were past that time. It doesn't matter, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I was living in government housing when I should have been fucking collecting BAH, getting paid fucking to live. And and paying that more.
Another big thing too is networking.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever taught me
the value of networking.
So I didn't understand networking, but I knew what it meant. And what I mean by that is when I was growing up, my grandfather and my uncle, even my dad, we could go fucking almost anywhere in the greater Boston area and run into somebody that knew somebody in my family.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. And that's when I kind of started to understand like, oh, okay. Like there's going to be a reason they know all these people, And then over the course of growing up, I'm like, okay, like I'm at the point like my sister, anytime she travels anywhere, she's like, "Hey, I'm going to fucking middle of nowhere, wherever the fuck. Who do you know?" And I'm like, "Give me a minute." And I'll go through and I'll be like, "What are you guys looking to do?" "Oh, blah, blah, blah." "Okay, cool. Hey, give this guy a call." Yeah. And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So, dude, when I traveled across the country, like when I was moving from Pendleton to Maryland and shit, you think I paid for a fucking hotel? Right. No, I have friends in every fucking state now. You know what I mean? And it's just an accumulation of people that you
meet over the years,
and
maintain relationships.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
here's a great guy right here.
When I posted I was in Costa Rica, one of our buddies is like, "Hey man, all my family's in Costa Rica."
He's been on the show.
Yeah.
Dave, Dynamite Dave. Yeah.
And I had no idea. Like I didn't need to use any of his contacts, but he just saw that I posted a picture from Costa Rica. He's like, "Hey man, if you need anything."
Yeah, he's like, "My entire family's in Costa Rica. Let me know if you need anything at all." My cousin knows everyone at every resort. He's worked the tourist industry for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know? I didn't know that. Fuck. Yeah. I talk to Dave all the fucking time, man. Like, but our wife, my wife and his are friends. Shit.
That's cool.
She stayed at their house. Fuck. That's a good fucking dude.
Yeah.
That is a great dude.
So.
Yeah, man, you're right. There is a value in networking, and and you always hear it's not what you know, it's who you know. Right. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And you think that's just a fun saying to say.
No, it's true.
But no, it's so fucking real, man. Like it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't know. I mean, there's a million and one like shit. My profession the last few years has literally been that, creating and fostering relationships, for one organization or another. But that's really been my job. you know, and that's what it's about. And all it is just, you know, fucking talk to people,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
get to know them.
But that,
you know,
you want to be wealthy, learn sales.
yeah,
Everything that happens on this planet involves sales. Everything. There isn't anything on this planet that doesn't involve sales. There's always, if you want something, there's some sort of a monetary or physical trade, whether it's for a product or a service. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it has to be sold somehow.
Yeah.
And
You don't
that
have
doesn't
to-
always mean money.
You don't have to be in sales,
Yeah.
but you need to know how it works.
I'm saying like it doesn't always have to be sold for money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's sold in different ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's a I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine
Exactly.
type of thing or whatever. You know,
Yep.
like there's so many different, you know, legal tender is thought of in different aspects of the world, right? Like I don't know. I love how we get into a deep, actual good podcast conversation as we're about to wrap this bitch up because we got to be over an hour.
Yeah.
Like hour and a half.
Well, I will also say I am a product of online education, but not like a formal online. Like
Yeah.
80% of the stuff that I know about cameras and shit podcast production,
Yeah.
if I didn't know, it was fucking YouTube and Google.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
Yeah.
done me well so far.
Justin, you're a fucking great example of somebody who's actually utilized this thing to fucking,
absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, fuck, you're what, 24?
27.
You're 27 now?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I've known you too long. Fuck. Jesus, man.
It changes every year.
Holy shit. You're 27 now?
Yeah.
We're going to get so fucking weird on your 30th. Because we're all going to be just so old, like young enough to fuck off.
So he's going to be in bed by 9.
But that's why he's already a homeowner. Like I turned 42 yesterday and I'm in my first home. You're 27. You've been in your first home for how long? Like fucking 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
You know, like fuck, dude. Like
But when I did that, I talked to all of y'all about it,
yeah.
including Jazz, and y'all put me in contact with the right people.
And all of us were like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it, but the
Here's
one,
Moni's number.
yeah. The one thing that's nice about having an actual in-person contact, like me reaching out to y'all, is I know personally y'all have gone through experiences similar. Where
And by experiences, you mean we've made all the
Failures.
mistakes.
We failed a lot.
but knowing people like that is just as important as knowing people that were successful.
Yeah.
in my
fucking
in my
totally.
opinion. But y'all put me in contact with the right people, and I can trust the information that you're giving me. Whereas sometimes I've found going online and
Yeah.
looking into something,
Especially like wealth stuff.
yeah,
Oh, there's a lot of gimmicks
Yes.
online.
Get rid
you
of
have
quick,
to, you have
total
to,
full of shit.
you have to be able to understand why something would work or not work.
You got to
And-
weed through the bullshit.
or
You know,
why
One-
whatever influencer is putting something online, what's their angle?
What's
Well,
the catch?
Yeah.
A lot of it, especially if it's on social media, it is, hey, hit me up if, I started this online marketing company and I've been made $15,000 in the last 3 weeks. Hit me up and then I can teach you how to do this. And then it's just $399 to sign up for this program and it'll teach you everything I know.
Yeah.
Or
Right?
it's
called
every
a
time you
pyramid.
But
make
here's-
money,
no,
I
no.
make money.
But here's
and
the
I
thing.
make money.
It's-
And then I pay the guy above
No,
me.
it's-
It's like
It's not bullshit, right? 99% of these are all affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you're
Yeah.
essentially trying to drive traffic to Amazon or Walmart or whatever, and they give you a small cut.
Yeah.
So in theory, yes, it's passive income because you're not really doing much. You do a social media post or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, and you hope traffic is driven off of that. If you put that same amount of effort into something that's for yourself, you'll make a lot more money. But the best thing, especially to touch on what Justin was saying, and I'm not saying by any means that any of us sitting at this table are mentors,
fuck no.
but if you find somebody,
I'll tell you what doesn't work.
if you find somebody that has made it, that has,
How do you know though? How do you know when you've made it?
how do you know?
Yeah.
You've met them.
Yeah.
We're
You know who they are.
you have.
Yeah, but how do you
And so
like-
and you've met him too. In particular person I'm speaking about, his name's Brad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He didn't have
Yeah.
money. He didn't come from money. It wasn't his family's money.
Yeah.
And he is a
That's a self-made man.
very well off millionaire.
He's doing all
at
right.
this point.
Yeah. He might have a B in front of that actually.
No.
No?
Nope.
I don't know. Might
I've
be on his
had
way.
lots and lots and lots and lots of conversations with him. by developing a relationship over the years. And it's an open book. Like there isn't any question I can ask that's off limits. There's obviously respectable questions to ask.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know your boundaries. You're not just going to be like, so how much you worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, when I ask, how do you know when you've made it? I'm asking about you particularly. Like, how did Brad know when he made it? He probably doesn't. And that's why he's so successful.
I can give you an idea.
But that's why he's so successful, because he's like, no, keep working.
When he worked for somebody and he was the number 3 in the company, but wasn't making any money at all because of the way this company was, the ownership of the company and how the ownership structured the company. He left, started his own thing. And within a few years, he bought a house in the same neighborhood of the CEO of the company that wouldn't promote him, that wouldn't pay him. I think at that point, you're like, I don't know if I made it or not, but I'm definitely on the right track.
I figured something.
Yeah.
And then when you buy your second house in that same neighborhood, and then a piece of property in that same neighborhood, you know what I mean? Like
the next thing you do, you got more than that guy.
There's signs.
Like,
there's signs. But you find somebody that's like that. You find somebody, you build a relationship with them, and it's not like
you're not leeching.
Yeah, it's not a take relationship.
Yeah. It's a mentor mentee.
Yeah. And then you start having these conversations, and you start of just being a sponge and absorbing knowledge. And that's it. Because he's not going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
But he's going to tell you things, and then you can put that in whatever parameters you want to put it in and be like, okay, like, you know, this is pointing me in a right direction.
That's some similar to along the lines of the conversation I had this weekend. Very, very similar. Same sort of thing, you know, where it was like, I have a situation coming up, I have an opportunity coming up, I need some advice on it.
Yep.
And my man gave me some sound advice.
Yep.
Then he gave me a different perspective that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
And because of that conversation, I'm now switching gears and going in a different direction is what I was going to do. Right. And I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Because I got sound advice from a guy who's fucking been there.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows what to do. And I was like, okay. And he fucking, again, same kind of deal, open book, laid it out for me. And like those conversations are so fucking valuable, man. And people 9 times out of 10, you don't even realize you're having that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Until it's almost done. And
then
like,
it clicks. And you're like, oh, fuck.
I have so many other questions I need to ask.
And then it just gets bigger and bigger, and it goes deeper down that rabbit hole, right? And that's just how it rolls, man. It's so interesting. Like it's such a cool way of like absorbing and just like bringing in like information into your brain is in that way, right? It's such a pure way of learning.
But you talk to any wealthy person and you ask them, how many mentors have you had?
Unless they're cunts.
But even still, even if they're cunts, and you can have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Ask them how many mentors they've had in the course of their life to get to where they are today.
Yeah.
And they probably can't even tell you how many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's they might have a 1 or 2 that's been with, you know, the whole time, but there's probably 30 other people that they've had conversations with or you know, learn from or something.
Yeah. For sure. Well, that's a good stopping point, boys. Smash those buttons, all that stuff. Sponsors are in the description. I'm gonna raise my glass.
Hold on.
Hope you get a reload real quick.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say thanks for being my freedom friend. And honestly, like, you know what? Take advantage of those conversations, right? Like, I mean, and set yourself up for success, because nowadays, Lord knows, it's the only help you're gonna get. You know, if you got to take, you know, I don't want to be cliche and say take the bull by the horns, but that's fucking genuinely what you got to do. You got to do it yourself, because they're not going to do it for free. They're not going to do it for nothing in the world.
And nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah, like, you got to do it on your own, man. And in this society that we've fostered lately, where instant gratification and shit, they expect shit.
You know,
there's an entitlement that, you know what?
Perfect
it's just
example,
not real.
just to go full circle on this. Mike Goshen,
Okay, yeah,
listener of the show,
Yeah.
hit us up randomly, and he's like, hey, think about starting a cigar shop. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And then a couple weeks later, he's like, hey, I'm coming to San Antonio to sit down and talk with you guys, and I'm stopping at a bunch of other places to talk with them on the way, because I need to gain knowledge.
Yeah.
Awesome. No fucking problem.
Fucking
Him and his son came out. We had a great weekend talking.
yeah.
What, a handful of months later, he had a cigar shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now he's a very
bootstrapped the shit out
and
of
he's
it
got
to
a
get it going.
successful cigar shop.
And we just did an event there at the end of last year.
And he's doing well.
You know, like, and that's just the thing. Like, just put your head down and work.
Yeah. You know, one foot in front of the other, fucking continue to march, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna raise my glass, boys. Cheers.
Easiest way to become wealthy is to just start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, guys. 3 little things. They're pretty easy. Words to live by, if you will. John,
Smoke on.
Scotty,
Drink on.
and goddamn it, kids, freedom to fuck on. Later.